Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for holding this very important committee hearing, and thank you to the witnesses, both here with us and joining us virtually, for being a part of this process and part of the conversation as well. As a young man growing up in an at-risk world, I was blessed to meet a mentor, a guy named John Moniz, a Chick-fil-A operator, who really taught me the power of opportunity, the power of free markets and capitalism. It was a great lesson that I needed to learn, and I learned it at a very ripe age of 15 years old. I also learned along the way, after a few years in the insurance industry, that there are basically three ways to create wealth in America. The first is real estate.
Have you marked as present?
That's good news. Mark him as president. Three ways to create wealth in America. The first way is really real estate, and for most of us, that real estate means home ownership. The American dream for so many people, the epitome of the American dream, really is that sense of owning your own home, equity in the real estate market. The second way to create wealth is owning your own business, and through the lessons of John Moniz, learning that profits were better than wages, one day I opened my own business, and thank God that I did. It changed not only my life economically, but my mother's life and frankly, members of my community. The third way of being able to create wealth in America is having an equity position in the marketplace, making sure that everyday Americans have access to the market is so critically important. It doesn't matter whether you're black or white, male or female, whether you live in rural South Carolina or inner city Chicago. The truth is that those three ways, home ownership, entrepreneurship, and having an equity position in the marketplace, are the ways that we create wealth, and it's one of the ways that we find a more fair path in what seems like an unfair world. Millions of Americans have discovered the magic that is made, or the magic that is made when we, in fact, understand and appreciate opportunity and opportunity for all. No matter your color, your creed, opportunity exists for all of us. To be clear, all Americans have not always had equal access to these wealth-building opportunities that their peers have. However, I believe that there is more opportunity today in the United States than at any other time in American history. Founders and entrepreneurs of diverse backgrounds, minorities, women, veterans, and those who live outside of Boston, New York, and the Bay Area were once almost completely unable to access the same early stage and growth funding opportunities as their peers. Today, these groups are now receiving a growing share of investment capital to start and scale their businesses. In 1989, less than a third of American families owned any stocks or bonds. Now, over half of U.S. households have access to the U.S. capital markets, and they are taking advantage of this very powerful and transformative tool to create economic growth, job creation, and wealth accumulation. Even better, the most rapid growth in the share of stock ownership has occurred among lower and middle-income households. Now, 4 in 10 households that own stock have annual family incomes of less than $74,000. That is something we should celebrate. During this hearing, I look forward to hearing more about the key challenges that diverse founders and entrepreneurs, including women, ethnic minorities, veterans, and rural residents, face in accessing seed capital, whether it's angel, public capital, relative to their peers outside of these groups. Potential approaches to mitigate any existing barriers to enter such markets for these diverse entrepreneurial groups. I'd also like to hear about the challenges associated with low and moderate income individuals, women, active duty military and veterans, and ethnic minorities as it relates to accessing investment opportunities. I'd also enjoy hearing about the possible frameworks to improve the scale and scope of investment opportunities for retail investors, and whether there are any existing legislative or regulatory threats that may curb market participation for investors. I appreciate all of today's witnesses for joining the subcommittee and to examine the most important issues that are relevant to our investors. Thank you.